Hello art lovers! In this video, I will explain one of the most important parts of this art to you. Before that, I will give you some explanations about drawing from samples of my own paintings. This is one of my paintings that I printed on photo paper. One of the most important parts that you will see is drawing shadows, and how we can draw this round and distinct state of the iris. One of the most important parts of this drawing is its shadows. If you pay attention, in addition to the great importance of the details inside the iris, this main round shadow that comes from the outside inward and towards the pupil is very important and is the main reason why this iris looks three-dimensional. Of course, all parts have separate importance, but here the shadows and different degrees of gray are important to us. Pay attention to the white part of the eye and the shadow it has. This shadow is drawn smoothly from dark to light so that the shape of the eye looks completely natural. These dark to light shadows are the same tonality and shadows that I will teach you in this video and the next videos. Let me show you another design. This is another one of my paintings that I printed on glossy paper to show you. One of the main features of this portrait is its shadows. If you look closely at this portrait, you will see that we even created the texture of the skin with shadows. Notice here that the shadows are drawn from dark to light. This softness and uniformity of the shadow from dark to light are very important, which I will teach you. Pay attention to this part. As you can see, we have only defined the cheek shape with different tonalities of gray. That is, we were able to create this volume on the cheek by drawing only the shadows from dark to light. Pay attention to my next drawing. I also printed this drawing on glossy paper to show you. If you look closely at this face, you will see that it is the gray tonality and the shadows that create the volume and depth in the work. Pay attention to this part on the cheek. As you can see, in this one piece, we have drawn from the darkest to the lightest shadows. We need to learn to draw all these different degrees of gray from the darkest to the lightest. If you look closely at the forehead, you will see that, again, with the same degrees of gray from dark to light, we were able to show the volume and then the forehead. I showed you these few drawings so that you would understand how important it is to do the gray tonalities in a uniform way. Okay, so now let's learn how to draw these grays from dark to light. As you know, we have used brushes, pencil powder and charcoal pencils for our drawings, but before we work with them, we need to learn to shade with just one pencil. Take a B6 pencil and hold it flat on the paper. First of all, we test the pencil. That is, we draw the edge of the pencil on the paper a few times to make sure that the shadow that is drawn is completely uniform. After we make sure that the shadow created by the pencil is completely uniform, we start shading from dark to light. At the beginning of shading, my hand pressure is a little more, and as I go down and to the lighter part, I reduce my hand pressure. I draw the pencil on it again from above. I repeat this from top to bottom several times. It doesn't matter how many times I draw the pencil on this shadow from top to bottom. What is important is that the result is a nice, smooth shadow from dark to light. So we repeat this until we achieve the desired shade and uniformity. Don't try to do it the first time by pressing your hand. Be patient and repeat this very gently until you achieve a smooth shadow from dark to light. As you can see, we can draw from the darkest part to the lightest shadows with this pencil. It doesn't matter how long the shadow we draw is. Draw different sizes of this shadow from dark to light. The shadow I drew here is probably about 3 to 5 centimeters. Now we repeat the same thing one more time. First, we test the pencil and then we start. This time, I want to draw a longer shadow. Like the previous shadow, from top to bottom. I repeat the same thing again, and as I go down, I reduce the pressure of my hand. What is important for us here is that the shadows are uniform. For example, this middle should not be this dark. We should try to draw the shadow evenly and from dark to light. You should shade in such a way that you draw all the shades of gray on the paper. That is, from the darkest part, which is complete black, to the lightest part, which is light and white. Don't worry if your shadows are not uniform or are bad the first time and there are lines in between. You need to practice again and again to create a uniform shadow. Don't rush it at all. Practice as much as you need. I suggest you draw at least 30 to 50 pages of this shadow so that your hand gets used to drawing the shadow completely and you gain the necessary skill. Now look at this shadow that I drew. As you can see, I shaded from the darkest to the lightest, and you can see all the shades of gray in it. One thing that will help you make sure you've done it right is that the end of the shadows where we reach the white of the paper should be completely faded. So make sure that your light shadows should be very, very faint. For example, if this is the lightest shadow you draw, this line will be visible between your shadow and the white of the paper, which it shouldn't be. Your light gray shadow should completely fade into the white light. Make sure that there should be no extra pencil lines left along the entire length of your shadow. Don't forget to draw these shadows in different sizes. Start 3 to 5 centimeters and shade from dark to light. And then increase the length of the shadows and draw the shadow up to 10 to 15 centimeters until you fully master the skill of using the pencil and drawing the shadow. Practice until all your final exercises are smooth and uniform. If you have any questions or need help, leave a comment and I will answer you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Good luck!